15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Is that Shakespeare?
Nope, it's Geico.
Yeah, that's Shakespeare from one of his unpublished works. Oh, it be not for awakening. Nay, giveth thou the berries. For 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Nope, it's from Geico, because they help save people money.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but Geico got it from Shakespeare.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
The wake up early, do a little studying, take the dog out, finish that audiobook
until the very end.
Finish that workout, then stop by McDonald's for breakfast and somehow manage to do it all before that 10 a.m. meeting meal. There's a meal for every morning at McDonald's.
Mix and match a sausage McMuffin, sausage biscuit, sausage burrito, or any size premium roast coffee. Any two for $2. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Was that good on your end?
Yeah, it was. Did you hear that burp?
It was good on my end. I did hear the burp. I liked it.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
But hey, welcome back to Bras and Murder. This week, I am Cheryl Tate. You're not my fucking supervisor, battle.
I know Cheryl Tate.
Mm-hmm.
I am
Cheryl
Space Karen.
If you're nasty. Space Karen.
Yeah, Elon Musk.
He's Space Karen now?
Yeah, they call him Space Karen.
Oh, I thought they just called him an asshole.
Oh, he's an asshole too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm buying his Cybertruck, but
why?
Because I want an electric vehicle. And
the one that costs like $69, that one?
No, it's like $49.
Okay. 60. I mean, hey, welcome to the fucking future, am I right? Cyberpunk.
Right? It better fucking
2077. It better fucking fly.
Elon Musk is wild on Twitter. If you haven't seen him on Twitter, sometimes
no, I have. Yeah, he be saying some off the wall shit.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, bro, put down the ketamine.
Right?
Chill. You're hanging out with Joe Rogan too much.
Right? Yeah, man. Having these crazy trips, bro. Ayahuasca.
Speaking of crazy trips, welcome to our infamous episode.
Infamous.
We're recovering a serial killer. Well, not one. This is a duo. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a duo.
Yeah,
it's
partners
just,
in crimes.
It's just an interesting case. It's an interesting case. Fuck.
I want to leave that in.
I get so mad when I make that noise. Andre yells at me.
I don't know. I reprimand him for saying or
I've gotten way better. Like
you've gotten
way
so
better.
much better.
It's
I'm so proud of you.
Maybe one per episode now, but before it used to be so much.
No, yeah, the editing process with him was just, and I kept it to myself for a long time. But you know what? You gotta, like, it's taking too fucking long to edit all these ums and uhs, bitch. You can get it together.
Which I am super aggressive when I just don't want something. I'm just like, hey, I don't like this. Can we do this? Andre just let it happen until he's just like, dude, you need to work on your speaking.
I bottled it all up until I couldn't take it anymore.
You had so much animosity towards me. I asked Melinda, I was like, do I say this too much? And she said, yes.
See, because we love you. We just put up with it. But it just got to the point where I'm just hearing it. I was like, It was haunting
tidbit
me.
About battle. I haven't given you a tidbit in a while.
Yeah, you haven't given me a tidbit. You say like a lot because you're a Cali girl.
I'm a fucking... Not every Cali girl talks. I'm a Californian by heart, sorry. And I am from a valley.
This is not the valley.
Just not the valley. Like, seriously?
I guess there's more than one. I didn't know. I thought there was just the one valley. But yeah, so yeah, we're doing our infamous episode. So let's just like get into it.
We give you true crime of color and cases. Wait, we also give you murder, or we give you bands that you've probably never heard of before.
Oh my god!
Sorry,
I'm
he's
sorry
slipping. So
everything.
Now that we know who we are and what we do, we will get right into it.
I'm a OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. OG boy. Day we hustle, but the night we OG boy. Know that they ride or die.
I guess I'm the one starting.
Yeah, you're starting. He's slipping, so it's okay.
I'm slipping. So,
Season 3
said we're talking about infamous serial killers that you probably have not heard of before, because I didn't hear about them until Andre was just like, hey, we need to cover this case.
I was scrolling through my fucking Facebook and it's popped up and I was like, hold up, bitch, who the fuck?
So we are going to talk about Anthony and Nathaniel Cook, a duo. They're brothers, and they murdered 9 people.
They're happy and they're singing and they're colored.
They actually are.
Give me a hard life.
Great show. So, Anthony and Nathaniel Cook's background has, of course, little information. Just like a lot of black murderers or murdered people, there's not a lot of background information. But what I do know, after reading about them a little bit, they were born in Mobile, Alabama. And according to Wikipedia, they actually came from a pretty broken home where they didn't have a father and they lived in a very low income area. And it's important to realize that when they were born when segregation was still a thing, as they were born in the late 40s, early 50s. So, a little history lesson for everyone. In the 50s, this is when the civil rights movement actually started to become more prominent in the U.S. They're fighting against things like Brown versus the Board of Education, where the Supreme Court pretty much said that there should be separate educational facilities because black children were inherently unequal. I'm an engineer, by the way.
Oh, go ahead.
This is the same 50s where Rosa Parks was arrested because she was not willing to give up her seat for a white person. Things like that. Don't ever forget that stuff, everyone. And I'm not trying to say because of their upbringing, they acted violently. However, I will say that being raised in poor conditions, it's easier to be susceptible to a life of crime. I know I come from a poor area, and some friends just didn't make it out. I'm lucky.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Grew up in poor areas in Philadelphia, and you grow up, you see a lot of friends who are like my age, just either not making it to 25 or spending their birthday behind prison.
It just sucks because I say it because it's difficult to break that type of mold. And
break the will, as a Targaryen might say.
And it's apparent too in less fortunate communities because there's less money in these communities, there's less jobs in these communities,
less resources,
opportunities. There's just not an abundance. So if anyone thinks for a second that everything is equal from that aspect, you're completely wrong, and this is the wrong place to be because this is Bros Murder, and we talk about the inequalities that happen in our community.
Yeah, so poverty breeds crime. Yeah, that's facts of life.
So, back to the case. Anthony and Nathaniel, during this time, grew up where it was super segregated, super racist, a lot more racist than it is now. Maybe, I don't know. It was said that Anthony was more in trouble with the law and involved in more street activity, whereas Nathaniel had no problems. He actually did really well. But, so, after Anthony's run-in with the law, and he got out of prison for, petty things, he was able to influence Nathaniel a lot more to do worse things. So this is when they start to run havoc in Toledo, Ohio. And when I say they ran havoc, Andre, take it away.
Yeah, so how did you pronounce that again, the city?
Toledo.
Okay, I was making sure I was right, because I said it in my head, but I was like, I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, and I don't want to sound fucking stupid. Coach.
His last name was Toledo.
Toledo. So now the killings began May 1980 when the brothers first attacked 24-year-old Thomas Gordon and his 18-year-old girlfriend in northern Toledo. I said it right. Toledo? What did I say?
Toledo?
Whatever. They threatened So they threatened them with guns, seized control of their car, and held them both hostage. The Cooks drove the couple to a wooded area in Lucas County where they shot Gordon and then raped his girlfriend. After which they stabbed her and fled the crime scene. And what you see in all these crimes is the violence is extremely violent. Somewhat, I don't want to say it's always sexually motivated, but they do take advantage of women. And they also...
Bro, what
Did
happened?
You hear that?
Is someone in your house?
No, Hexy just jumped on top of her cat tree.
I was just like, what was that noise? I heard something.
Yeah.
I was looking at that cracked door right there. I was like, wait, did something go in there? Like, what's going on?
Because you see it's like leaning up against the wall, so whenever she jumps on it, like bangs against the wall. That's why I was like, what the fuck? Fucking bit. All right, back into it. And also, when it comes to all their crimes, they really never try to clean up after themselves or take care of the crime scene. Because, when you think of serial killers, you think of people like covering their tracks and... No.
To be fair, the whole CSI kind of thing wasn't the DNA evidence wasn't an issue then. So you could go out and kill people, kind of.
It kind of bit them in the ass a little bit on that end. Yeah. So now, the girlfriend of Thomas did survive, but Gordon didn't. On January 3rd, 1981, Anthony and Nathaniel picked up a 19-year-old hitchhiker who was a Michigan native named Connie Sue Thompson, driving her out to Lucas County where they raped her and also killed her. The criminals then threw the victim's body off a bridge into a stream where it was discovered like 2 or so weeks later on January 17th. Now, in February of that year, Anthony, while returning home from work, lured a 12-year-old Dawn Renee Bax into his car. Soon, Nathaniel joined them, after which the two men took the victim to an abandoned theater where they raped and tortured the young girl for the next several hours. Now, much to their sadistic amusement, like, she, was completely lucid she was with it the whole time. She was aware of what was happening. Like she was like unconscious or anything like that. So, subsequently, she succumbed to several blows from a brick to the head and died. Now,
just so everyone knows, you don't die instantly from getting hit in the head. Sometimes you could go into convulsions.
Sometimes it's a very violent death.
That is
also I looked it up.
Brutal.
It takes 6 pounds of pressure to crush a human skull. So you're not really. It's gonna take more than one strike to kill somebody by hitting them in the head.
Yo,
most of the time.
Physics the fuck out of this. Like, it's pretty intense the amount of force that is being used. I love physics, everyone. It's so much. Sorry.
So now, on March 27th, Anthony attacked Scott Moulton and Denise. That's a very Polish last name. I don't want to mess it up. I just know the last name was Polish because I have a friend who has the same last name, and I always ruin it, so I'm just going to call her Denise S. This happened in a supermarket in the center of the city. He took them outside of the city of Oregon suburb, where he shot both of them after raping Denise. And in that instant, he acted without his younger brother that time. So this was like the first crime or murder he did on his own without the aid of his brother being there. Now, on August 21st, Anthony, again acting alone, attacked Daryl Cole and Stacy Bolnick, both 21, and after raping the girl, Cook beat Cole with a baseball bat that he found in the person's car interior, causing him fatal brain injuries. After repeating the act, he hid both bodies in the trunk of the car. So he bludgeoned them both with a baseball bat and threw them in the trunk of their own car. In September of that year, Anthony committed another crime in the rich part of the city, which is just 2 blocks away from the police station. So I don't know if he just didn't give a shit anymore or what, but you're A, in a rich white area, so you're already fucked up, and B, you're doing this near a police station, so you're just asking to get caught. Early in the morning, Cook threatened to rob the passengers of a parked van where 21-year-old Todd and 20-year-old Lisa were hanging out, after which he tied both of them up and raped the women. During the attempted rape, the man managed to free himself and fight off the attacker, who lost grip of his weapon. The woman did then call the police and called her father, Peter, a well-known businessman in Toledo, for help, while, Cook and other dude, or her boyfriend, are wrestling, trying to get his gun. He then was able to fight off Peter, the boyfriend, and shot him, seriously wounding him before disappearing. Now, the Cook's fingerprints were found in a crime scene by police and examined, since the killers apparently didn't pay any attention in concealing their tracks. Street information about them passed pretty fast. People knew who they were, and by October 14th, 1981, the police were able to track them down and arrest them. Because again, they just did not care about burying their tracks. Well, yeah, those are the fucking murders.
Yes. So it's kind of weird too, because I was trying to piece together everything, because
the timeline is sporadic.
I don't think Anthony and Nathaniel were arrested at the same time.
No,
because it was for 17 months. Anthony and Nathaniel were pretty much to get away with everything they were doing. It was a span of 17 months that everything happened.
And I think it's a combination of A, they were kind of on the move for the most part. They were kind of hitting different areas. B, at one point they weren't doing it together.
Right.
And then C, just DNA evidence and shit like that just wasn't that big in the 80s. So it was hard to just... It wasn't impossible, but it was just... Yeah, it was just hard.
It took some time for technology to catch up.
It was just hard to really pin them down, especially since I looked it up too because back then police departments really weren't communicating back and forth with each other there. So these crimes were happening in different areas, and a lot of the police weren't really communicating that much.
Right. So really quick, you said that you could edit this part out, but you said that he was arrested for shooting he was Peter, right?
Yes, Peter got shot.
Okay, cool. Add this part back in. So eventually, like Andre said, in October of 81, Anthony was arrested because of the shooting of the realtor Peter. He was given 15 years to life in prison. And it wasn't until almost 16 years later that Nathaniel was arrested. This happened because of DNA evidence of the crime scene. Eventually, like I said earlier, the technology caught up with them, and it was almost like cold cases, and detectives wanted to test some DNA that they had of crime scenes, and guess what? Guess who they were traced back to? Yes, the Cook brothers. So, according to the Associated Press, Anthony and Nathaniel both admitted to taking part in these murders, all 9 murders, Nathaniel saying that he helped with 3. However, Nathaniel took a plea deal, which gave him a lighter sentence. Anthony admitted to aggravated murder in the shooting of Thomas Gordon and was sentenced to life in prison. Nathaniel Cook pled guilty to 2 counts of kidnapping, 1 count of attempted murder of Gordon's girlfriend. A crazy thing is that they both didn't have to stand trial at Gordon's death and actually Nathaniel was able to avoid the life sentence. Not only did they not have to face trial or punishment for the other cases, because of the plea deal, Nathaniel, like I said, had a much lighter sentence. In 2018, Nathaniel was released from prison, and he served 20 years for what he did, and that was a part that was part of the agreement with the prosecutors and the victims' families. There was no other reasons why he should have been kept locked up, according to the Lucas County Judge Linda Jennings. She looked through it. She was trying to find ways to keep him in prison because of how brutal the murders were, but they couldn't find any reason to keep him there because he was in good standings in the prison. A crazy thing about this case, I don't think you mentioned it, but they believe that all of the murders were racially motivated because they were white people that were murdered. Which is pretty crazy. I did read an interview that someone did with him that was about 40 minutes. The interviewer said that he was afraid to go inside the house where Nathaniel lived, but he was actually able to talk to him, and the reporter said that he was super soft-spoken and he was very frustrated that he couldn't live a normal life even though he did his time, which makes sense on why he can't live a normal life, because he fucking brutally murdered some people and did it so intensely.
No, they were both fucking monsters.
Yeah, dude. And yeah, it's crazy that this dude got out after 20 years. Not to mention after 16 years of pretty much being free, doing whatever the fuck he wanted to do.
His brother was just holding it down for him.
Right? P.O.P.
P.O.P. holding it down. Oh, mama, I love you. Never forget that shit. But yeah, that was our infamous episode. How do you feel about that battle?
About this case?
Yeah.
It seems short.
Yeah, no, it was a shorter case.
Yeah. But I think even though it was short,
I wanted to get it out there. Yeah, because I guess I had no idea about these two at all, so I was like, we gotta talk about it.
Yeah, when you sent those to me, when you said I want to do this instead, I'm like, okay, let me look at this. And when I was reading through what they did, I was just like, yo,
bitch, what the fuck? Yeah.
Wow. How were you able to live for 16 years after?
With all that just in your head.
Yo, that's wild.
And I'm surprised he didn't commit any other crimes within those 16 years. But maybe he did.
Yeah, what if Nathaniel did
for all we know
stuff?
Yeah, for all we know, there could be more victims out there, more cold cases that are linked to him. Because I don't believe that after committing
heinous crimes like that,
you just go on a hiatus forever and be like,
well,
yeah, I'm good.
What was the Grim Sleeper, Lonnie
that
Johnson?
was like I was 14.
He was asleep for a long time before the Grim
Sleeper was
chilling.
Yeah, for 14, but then he started back up. And even within that 14, they speculate that he still was out there.
I should have looked into if any other thing happened around where he was, any other murders that are unsolved, like cold cases.
You know what?
He was.
We can save that for an update. This. Yeah, we'll revisit it. We'll do an update and revisit it. We'll dig dive deeper into that and like some other ones, because we gotta up the episode we wanted to do for a little bit now. So yeah, we'll tackle it again.
I like that idea.
But yeah, that was our infamous episode. And if you want to support the show, check out the show notes. You could donate, check out the merch and whatnot. Keep watching the Instagram for the social media vids. And I have nothing else to plug other than there's also a Spotify playlist, so check out the Spotify playlist for all the music. But Battle, you want to plug anything?
If you haven't today, go and hug some. Hugs feel good.
Facts, 100% facts. And drink water, because I know you haven't today.
Yup, I have not drank much.
See, look at you.
Personally,
yup.
Yeah.
You piss all hot and yellow and shit. Nasty.
I have a little bit of a headache. I'm not gonna lie.
There you go.
And
hydrated. Salt your water, guy. My grandma used to say that shit all the time. Like, make sure you salt your water. I was like, this isn't the fucking Dust Bowl, all right? We're gonna be fine.
The Dust Bowl.
But yeah, bye.
See ya, fam.
We could drive along in the ocean reflecting the sun, or make a bed of green atop a wide open scene. Under a canvas of blue, I would draw ever nearer to you, to feel the dew on your skin. That is how it would begin. For summer is for falling in love. We could stay out late until the sun sets past 8, and the cotton candy haze mirrors the warmth of your gaze. Raise your glass to mine, and as we drink, we would lock eyes, so we could disregard the thought of ever having to part. For summer is for falling in love. This lightness of being, we both know to be fleeting, like the last breath of a sunset right before the day is dead. But maybe the heat of today could keep even winter away. So I'll remember your laugh, 'cause nothing ever changes the fact that summer is for falling in love. Da-dun-da-dun-day. Summer is for falling in love.
Call 1-888-FARMERS to switch, and you could save an average of $470 on your auto insurance. That's a lot of money in just a few minutes. With savings like that, you could be lounging on an impractical amount of ornate and overpriced throw pillows you bought for your couch. But you won't, because you're better with money than that. That's why you're calling us in the first place. Call 1-888-FARMERS to get a quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Based on average nationwide annual savings survey data July to December 2020. Underwritten by Farmers Trucker Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.